All right, Courtney. So you have had a really, really, really awful experience with Ghost Hunts USA.
Correct. Yes.
So tell me. I saw the TikTok, and I was like,
Mhm.
I need to reach out because this is kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, in my opinion, and I'm not a lawyer, I'm not a prosecutor or anything, but this seems like it's credit card fraud and wire fraud from what you.
Yeah. I had at least one person reach out to me on TikTok who used to work for them for a very brief amount of time. She told me that the owner of the company had been arrested in the UK for something I think similar, and then came to the US and basically, from what she said, did the same thing again. So I would not be surprised if that's exactly what is going on. So, yes.
I actually, I've I've got two former employees who are speaking to me anonymously because they don't
Mhm.
want any repercussions. But there were times that they weren't even paid.
Wow. Not surprised.
So I, what's sad is my first ever paranormal investigation I ever did was actually with Ghost Hunts USA, and I was like, oh,
Oh.
this is a great experience. And
Mhm.
then, so tell me, so tell me what's going on. Tell me your story.
Sure. So I live in Wilmington, North Carolina. There's a battleship here from the Civil War era, and it is said to be haunted. And the paranormal investigators have been there in the past. I think maybe one of the shows, I can't remember which one, but they came and looked at it. But it's really, really difficult to go and onto the ship if you're not with some paranormal group, right? They're not going to just let some random person, show up. And, from my experience, a lot of the paranormal groups around this area don't really accept new members for the most part. So I saw a news article from like 2 years ago from the Wilmington newspaper here that said, hey, if you're interested in this kind of thing, this company provides tours of the battleship, overnight. You can buy tickets. So I was like, that sounds really awesome. Like I could go, there would be a group of people there. They said they provide like some equipment, maybe a psychic would be there. I just really wanted to go because I just wanted to see what it was all about, for me. So I I probably should have done more research on my end, but it had been in the newspaper. I went to their website. It looked pretty legit. They had a bunch of other locations in the country that they were doing stuff with. So I thought, okay, cool. So myself and then two other individuals decided that we were going to get tickets for an event. It was supposed to be, I think, October 28th or something of this year. So I bought 3 tickets. They require a deposit. I can't remember if it's some kind of percent of whatever the whole amount is. Thankfully, I did not pay for the entire thing because that would have been several $100s. And I got the emails confirming everything. They had you go on to the website and like sign a waiver and do all that kind of stuff. And I thought, cool, everything's taken care of. They'll probably, say they'd reach out, as the event got closer. So then I was on TikTok and I just happened to see the BJ the Web Guy's TikTok about how this company had gone out of business. And I was like, that's weird. Like, I haven't gotten an email of a cancellation or anything. I have no idea what's going on. I found they had a Facebook post where they basically said we're going out of business, blah 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 blah. But that was just by chance. Like I would have really never known if I hadn't been following certain people on TikTok. So I reached out to I left a Facebook post, which didn't mean anything because everybody else was leaving the same thing, saying like, like, does this mean everything's canceled? Like, did you send an email? I just didn't get anything, and didn't hear anything. And so I was like, well, fine. I guess I'm just going to have to dispute my charge, my credit card, because the company went out of business. I was not able to get my services. This should be really straightforward. right? Like this should not be a problem. So I did the dispute for my credit card company. And so they initially refunded me my money. And then about a month later, they came back with a document that said, like what I mentioned on TikTok, basically that I had received my services and they were in good condition. That came straight from the company. And I was really confused because I was like, clearly I did not receive my services, right? But so why would they say that, and why would nobody question that weird comment? Credit card companies don't really pay attention is my guess. But so I followed up with a secondary dispute with my credit card company.
Do you want to name the credit card company?
Capital One.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to reach out to their PR department and ask them to comment on this story.
Yeah.
So maybe the fact that it's going to get media attention, maybe they'll be like, oh.
It was all very weird. I did the initial process. They came back. They had, they said I got my services and said, if you want to continue to dispute this claim, you have to provide all of this documentation and send it to us in the mail. So I did. I printed out the email that said we went out of business. You need to get your money through your credit card company. I printed out the receipt from my, the event that I was supposed to go to, the date, how much money. I provided a significant amount of information. I wrote a whole letter, it was a page long, single spaced. And I got a document that showed up in my account that basically said, you didn't give us everything we needed. They didn't say what that was or what I was missing, and basically said, so yeah, we're not going to deal with, this is closed. You don't get any other chances, right, to reach out. So that's when I was like, well, that's not going to work for me to just sit on that. I'm lucky enough that I'm okay, financially, that this isn't going to break my budget. But I imagine a lot of other people who paid full price for these tickets and are not getting their money back. That's got to hurt. A couple $100 is a lot of money. So, and I'd heard other people, or read other people say, the same thing happened to me, but their credit card company actually ended up refunding, the stuff after all. But they got the same response from the company saying, you got your services. And then some.
How can you have the services if it's not even October yet? The gall of it. And I'm not gonna say the former employee's name. They said that this person who's in charge at Ghost Hunts USA doesn't feel they're touchable. They don't feel like they're doing anything wrong. So they were not surprised that this is all happening.
Yeah, I got that feeling as well. If there's anything that makes me angrier, and it's probably just it's probably not, it's maybe a pet peeve, is when people don't face consequences for their actions, like this company, for example. I feel like I'm, the judge. I'm not, obviously, I can't make people pay for their crimes, but I at very least want them to be called out on their crap, right? And I do believe that this is affecting far more people than I think we realize, because probably a lot of people might not even know things are canceled because they never got an email, or they haven't bothered to dispute the cost because, for them, maybe that's not something they have to do, or they did get their money back eventually after, working with a credit card company. But it sounds like this is not the first time this person has pulled something like this. This sounds like this has happened before. At least that's the understanding I got from the person I talked to.
This is unfortunate. Customers are not getting their money back. Locations have not been paid. There are locations that have cut ties because they did not pay. There were employees not being paid. So this seems like a bunch of embezzling, wire fraud, credit card fraud, all of the above. And I really hope they do face consequences. Now, have you filed a police report or anything?
No, I haven't gone any further than my credit card dispute, mostly because I don't know the law. I don't know how this stuff works and like what kind of options you do have. Like, I don't know any lawyers. I don't know anything about legal stuff, which is partly why I did the video, because I was hoping maybe if I got it out to enough people, maybe somebody would be able to be like, yeah, I can handle this, or I know somebody who knows somebody, or, you know, something like that. So I haven't I haven't talked to anybody, you know, somebody said attorney general. I haven't talked to anybody like that. But, you know, I guess I'm just kind of waiting to see like, what is the next best course of action with this situation? I don't know what that answer is, but, you know, hopefully by getting it out in the open with more people knowing what's going on, maybe that'll be a little easier to do.
Right. No, and I saw it because BJ shared, and the funny thing is, so before he started his podcast with Mitra, all three of us were actually on like a TikTok, like improv group, like a bunch of parents. And so, and then he and Mitra started this podcast. So obviously I followed them and listened to their podcast, and now boom, they're really huge in the paranormal community as far as a podcast. So I saw your video and I'm like, okay, I've gotta use the magazine to do a story. And like, you know, I reached out to Ghost Hunts USA for a comment, and their response was no comment. So yeah, so clearly they know they're doing something wrong, and now they're trying to, you know, cover their tracks.
Yeah, I mean, the audacity to say something like you got your services and they were great, when I very clearly did not. You know, the fact that they were able to say that, and somebody in the credit card company was just like, yeah, cool, we got it. That makes sense. You know, like, how does that work? Like, how does that happen? Like, I guess I'm just, you know, like, there's got to be something going on with the credit card companies in this company, because why would my credit card company not see this information and think, that's weird, she said it was in October, how would she have received these services? My guess is maybe they just don't care enough to look into it. It's not important to them. You know, maybe I don't have enough of a limit on my credit card. But that to me was just so incredibly frustrating, because it was just complete bullshit. I mean, there was nothing true about any of that. And the fact that they felt like they could say something like that and it would be accepted was just like, the audacity of them to do that was just so irritating to me. Like, how dare you even do that? Like, very clearly, I'm not stupid. Like, like, you know what I mean? Like, and I trusted a company with my money that I probably shouldn't have trusted, but I did. And it's, you know, I take it personally that they took my money and they're not going to give it back to me. I'm not a billionaire. Like, this is not, you know, like $10 for me. And also just to get a little bit more of an understanding of how widespread this is, because I wasn't really entirely sure if it was just like me and a couple other people, or if it was something that was much bigger, which it turns out that's exactly what it is. So
it's pretty big. There were people that paid for events, showed up to the events with no notice that they were canceled. And some people have traveled cross country to go to some of these locations, and now they're out all this money. And it's so on the spectrum of things, you're kind of in the middle. I mean, you're lucky that you didn't, you know, pay the rest and show up, because who knows, Ghost Hunts would have probably taken the rest of the money had you not known. They would have probably taken the rest of the money, and then you would have gone, and then you would have got there and been like, what's going on?
Yeah.
So, because all they did was put it on their Facebook post. That's it.
Right. Yeah. Which was weird to me, because I was like, did I miss something somewhere? Like, I feel like I should have gotten an email or like some kind of response, but no, it was just on their Facebook. And I think their website is still active. Like, you can still go on there and like look at the locations. And I don't know if you can like purchase tickets. But the last time I checked was like two weeks ago. It wasn't like, it was still there. So unless they've taken it down since then.
Their website is still active, ready to do something unique. Oh, look at this. And
Mhm.
it's got, let me click on a location. I'm doing this right now. All right. It does not allow you to click on anything.
Okay.
So it won't let you book will it let me buy a gift card? That's a good question. Hold on. We're going to try this while we're in the middle of this interview. Sorry, this item is,
Okay.
oh, nope, you cannot. Nope, you cannot. You can't purchase a gift card. So
Well, that's
I'm
good
shocked.
at least.
I mean, that is good news. But yeah, their website is still like, and there's nothing on their website that says, "Hey, we're closed." Nothing.
I don't think any other social media accounts they have any information. Like as far as I've seen, there's nothing on their other social media accounts that say anything about them going out of business. So
That is, but yeah. So how long before they went out of business did you buy these tickets?
I bought these tickets like it was like end of March of this year. And so I'd had purchased them for a while. And I think I found out about all this, all of the business being closed stuff. I think it was like sometime first part of May, maybe. I can't really remember. But yeah, I mean, I'd had them for, I had purchased them, at least a month before. And the individual that messaged me who used to work for them said that they knew then, and when I purchased the tickets at the end of March, that they were going to be going out of business. They just didn't say anything because they were hoping people like me would continue to purchase tickets.
Yeah, like there's so they posted on April 25th that they're going out of business. 4 days prior, they were advertising for April 28th and April 29th at a house in Mississippi, Florence, Mississippi, like 5 days before. Yeah, so they're Penhurst. They're talking about 7 days, a week before, and they knew. They're talking about a Penhurst investigation June 23rd and 24th. So they
Yep. They're just trying to get more money in before. Yeah.
That's really messed up.
Yeah, because well, I mean, it's fraud in the sense that people are buying tickets for an event that they know is not going to happen, but they're not being honest with the consumer, so that they can get more money in their pockets and, walk away. I mean, I don't know how bankruptcy works. I don't know how that process works, but it sounds like to me did they really go? I mean, did they really go bankrupt? I don't know. Like, is that just a comment? Or is it something else? I don't know. It's just weird. So
yeah, and usually when there's fraud involved, legit fraud, and it's proven, they don't allow you to file bankruptcy on that stuff.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Now, do you have anything else that you need to share for the story, that you want to share for the story?
I think it's frustrating. I think BJ said something in his video about how like you have to be really careful with the paranormal community because you have a lot of people that will take advantage of you. And unfortunately that's what happened for me. And honestly, it's kind of put me off the whole idea of going on investigations, with certainly with any other company. But groups in general, like I'll do my own kind of like walking through the graveyard stuff on my own, like that's fine. But it definitely left a bad taste in my mouth. And knowing that this is there's probably other companies out there that might be doing similar things at a lower level. So yeah, it's just frustrating.
Yeah, and me being part of the paranormal community, because I go on investigations. I run a podcast. I run a YouTube channel. I write for one of the magazines. it's frustrating because there are so many people that want to get into the paranormal community. Now
Mhm.
you just put this whole thing like, well, why would I do that? These people are shady. Why are you shady too? Like,
Yeah.
and it's frustrating because a lot of people's credibility. Oh, I used to work for Ghost Hunts USA. Okay, I don't know if I want to hire you. You know?
Yeah, absolutely. It does mess with the credibility. I've certainly, like I used to watch a lot of stuff, like investigations and TV shows, and I just haven't done that because every time I start watching anything, I just get angry, not at the show, but just at the general, experience I had with a company that was supposedly, you know, this paranormal investigation company where you could all do all this really cool stuff with all these really cool people and it was going to be great and fun and just like the TV shows, and it was the complete opposite experience for me. So yeah, it sucks.
It does. Because and it because I love there's so much fun going into these old buildings and these old locations,
Mm-hmm.
and connecting with the spirits and to take away the innocence of, you know, what we do and destroy it is so frustrating. And luckily there was a bunch of locations, but not all of them that actually stepped up and honored these tickets, even
Mm-hmm.
though like the Indiana State Sanatorium and all their sister sites. They're honoring their tickets. They just had a public hunt with if you had a ticket to any Ghost Hunt
That's nice.
USA.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh.
So
Huh.
they're like, hey, you had a ticket to Ghost Hunts USA. I know there's a couple of locations in Ohio, Fairfield and Madison Seminary, uh,
Mm-hmm.
owned by the same group. I don't know if they've already done them, but they're having public hunts, and if you have a Ghost Hunts USA ticket, they're going to honor it. So,
That's cool. That's good to hear. Yeah,
and
that's cool.
it was really quick that they like it was like 2 days after Ghost Hunts announced they're like, hey, we're gonna do this. So there is a positive, but there are people like you that are affected, and I wish more people would have stepped up and said, hey, listen, we're going to honor these tickets. So I really hope that you don't give up on paranormal completely because it is fun. And if
Mhm.
you're ever up my way, I would love to have you on an
Thank you.
investigation.
I appreciate that.
I so I live in I live in northern Indiana, so I'm like central to I'm like
Yeah,
2.5 hours from Eloise. I'm 4 hours away from Waverly. I'm three hours from Indiana State Sanatorium. I've
you're right in
got
the middle. Yeah.
Randolph County Infirmary that's like an hour and a half away. I've got Blackford County that's an hour away. So I'm like all these like really big ones
Yeah.
are
Yeah.
like right here. Like I'm 5 minutes away from another one, like Bell Mansion here in Fort Wayne. It's a former a state senator's house, and then it became a
Oh.
funeral home. So, and it's cool. It's not like one of those. It doesn't have a dark presence. So, like, I took my 7-year-old son on his first paranormal.
Mhm.
So I live. So if you're ever up in this, area and you want to do an investigation, let me know. I would absolutely love to.
That would be wonderful if I ever am up in that area because there's not much around me, unfortunately.
Or if I'm ever in like Tennessee, because Tennessee's not that far.
It's I'm on the coast of North Carolina, so it's 12 hours ish.
Is it
But
really to Tennessee?
yeah, it's a long. Well, it depends, I guess, where in Tennessee. But if you're talking about Nashville or something like that, it's a bit of a drive. But
Because there's Brushy Mountain that's over by Knoxville.
yeah, that would be. I think that's the other side of the state, maybe.
That's east side.
Okay. See, I don't know because I've only been to Nashville.
Okay. Yeah, Nashville's the west side. Knoxville,
Yeah.
because my parents actually live near Gatlinburg.
Okay. Yeah. That's right.
So
Mm-hmm.
so I'm like, if I ever have to, or if I'm ever investigating down there, I don't have to pay for a hotel. I'll just go stay at their house. So
Which is awesome. I unfortunately don't have any family in any of the cool areas of the country, so I don't have places that I could stay. And Like I said, North Carolina, I'm sure we have a lot of locations, but nobody's, it's just not being advertised as a option to visit, I guess. So, yeah.
But yeah, stay in touch. We'll figure something out. If I come up with an investigation, we'll do about getting you into an investigation with a group.
That would be really cool. I really wanted to. I was super excited. I was going to get some basic equipment. Like I was really like reading up on everything. And yeah, so it was disappointing because I was really excited about it.
I know, and that frustrates me because I love the community for the most part. There are a lot of people that are doing stupid stuff and hurting the community, but there are people out there that really enjoy going into these buildings. But I know here soon there's one close to me that's like 45 minutes away. They're renovating part of it where it's going to be like a haunted Airbnb. So you can actually stay there and investigate.
That's cool.
And I know like Indiana State Sanatorium is renovating some of the superintendent's houses and houses that are on the property. So you can actually stay the night on the property.
Yeah, that's absolutely worth doing then. Like that would be worth the drive. Absolutely. Yeah.
So like, yeah, we'll figure something out. And like, I don't know, I want people to enjoy it because it is fun. It is, and to have it ruined by these people is frustrating. But Courtney, I really appreciate you taking time out of your day to sit down and talk to me. And
thank you for reaching out. Absolutely.
I'm going to get working on this story, but I would personally, file a police report and I would contact the North Carolina Attorney General's office and file a consumer complaint.
Okay.
Because most attorney general's office have a consumer protection division.
That's good to know. Yeah.
I wouldn't file with the Better Business Bureau. They don't really. But if they broke laws, then filing a police report and filing something with your attorney general's office is the right start.
Okay.
To hold these people accountable.
I will absolutely look into that. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. I am going to find Capital One's PR person.
Okay.
And reach out to them and comment and get a comment on this because like there's no reason that they should have denied your claim.
Right. I agree.
I mean, my 7-year-old would have agreed. She needs to have her money back. So Yeah. So
well, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. You have a great day.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.